Welcome to the Empower Elle podcast. I'm your host, Vero, and I'm so excited to have you join me on this journey of empowerment and growth. This podcast is designed for ambitious, high-achieving women who are ready to break free from overwhelm and step into their power. Together, we'll explore practical strategies, share inspiring stories, and hear from experts who can help you navigate the challenges of balancing ambition and well-being. Whether you're looking to cultivate confidence, transform your mindset, enhance your leadership skills, or find harmony in your life, this is the place for you. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Empower Elle podcast. I'm so glad that you're here to learn about something that could truly shift the way that you lead and live. Today's conversation is all about developing grit and how to stay persistent even when progress feels painfully slow. If you've ever questioned yourself because results weren't coming fast enough, if you've ever wondered whether you're cut out for the vision on your heart, or if you felt the temptation to walk away simply because it's taking longer than you expected, this episode is for you. And honestly, it's for me too. Because the truth is, grit is not about pushing harder or sacrificing your well-being in the name of success. It's not about hustling until you burn out. Grit is about sustainable persistence. It's about staying aligned, grounded, and committed, even when the evidence hasn't caught up to your effort yet. And when you learn to develop grit in a healthy, empowered way, you don't just build success, you build resilience. You build confidence, you build leadership presence, and you build the kind of self-trust that changes everything. So take a deep breath and let's dive in. Let's start with something honest. Slow progress can feel defeating. You're showing up, you're doing the work, you're investing time and energy. You're learning, you're stretching, you're trying. And yet, the results don't match the effort. At least not yet. And that gap between effort and visible outcome is where most people quit. Not because they're not capable, not because they don't want it bad enough, but because slow progress activates doubt. It sounds like maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I started too late. Maybe other women are just better at this. Maybe this isn't for me. And when you're an ambitious woman who holds herself to high standards, slow progress can feel personal. But here's what I want you to hear clearly. Slow progress is not proof that you're failing. It's proof that you're building something real. And anything meaningful takes time. Trust takes time. Confidence takes time. Leadership takes time. Healing takes time. And mastery takes time. But we live in a culture that celebrates overnight success. What we rarely see are the years behind it, the invisible effort, the uncomfortable learning curve, the quiet perseverance, the tears, the pivots, the doubt, the discipline. No one skips the invisible stage. The difference is simply who stays. Here's something important. You're not supposed to feel motivated every day. Motivation is driven by your emotions, but grit is a behavior. Motivation says, I feel inspired, but grit says, I'm showing up anyway. Motivation is a spark, but grit is the steady flame. And if you rely on motivation alone, you will constantly feel unstable. Because motivation rises and falls based on your sleep, your mood, your hormones, your stress, your circumstances. But grit is anchored in decision. It's the decision to keep showing up in alignment with your values, even when it feels ordinary, especially when it feels ordinary. Because let's be honest, the path to meaningful success is not glamorous most of the time. It's repetitive, it's consistent, and it's often uncelebrated. And yet, that consistency compounds. One workout doesn't change your body. One post doesn't grow your platform. One difficult conversation doesn't transform your leadership. But hundreds do. And you have to start at 1 to get to 100. The women who build powerful lives are not the most talented. They are the most consistent. Let's zoom out for a minute. As a leader, whether in business, in your career, in your home, or in your own life, your ability to stay steady when progress is slow matters deeply. Why? Because people are watching how you handle delay. Your team watches how you respond when a goal takes longer than expected. Your children watch how you respond when something is hard. And your peers watch how you navigate setbacks. But most importantly, you are watching yourself. Every time you stay through discomfort, you strengthen your self-trust. And every time you quit prematurely, you weaken it. And grit is really about self-trust. It's about becoming the woman who says, I don't abandon myself when it gets hard. And that's powerful. That's where everything changes. Because grit is not just something you do. It's someone you become. If your identity is, I'm someone who loses momentum when results are slow, then you will unconsciously prove that to be true. But if your identity becomes, I'm a woman who stays, I'm someone who finishes what I start, I am building a long-term success, I'm playing the long game, then your behavior aligns. And identity drives that consistency. So instead of asking, how do I feel today? Ask, who am I committed to becoming? That question shifts everything. Now, let's get practical, because grit does not mean grinding yourself into exhaustion. Sustainable grit honors your well-being. So here are 5 ways to build it in a healthy way. Number 1 is to detach from artificial timelines. You likely have a timeline in your head. I should be here by now. This should have happened already. But compared to what? Whose timeline are you measuring against? Instead of asking, why isn't this faster? Ask, am I moving forward? Because forward is enough. Even slow forward is forward. Number 2, fall in love with the process. If you only love the outcome, you will always feel frustrated. The outcome is a moment. The process is your life. Can you learn to enjoy the growth, the learning, the discipline, the becoming? Because the woman you become in the process, that is the real reward. Number 3 is to track evidence of growth. Because when progress is slow, your brain forgets. So document it. Journal what you're learning. Track small wins. Notice improved reactions. Celebrate consistency. Evidence builds belief, and your belief fuels your persistence. Number 4, shorten the horizon. Big goals can feel overwhelming when they're not coming true yet. So zoom in. Instead of your goal being build the business, focus on sending one email, reaching out to one person, improving one skill. Grit lives in daily actions. And number 5 is protect your energy. This one is critical. Grit is not about draining yourself. It's about pacing yourself. Rest is not quitting. Pausing is not failing. Recalibrating is not weakness. Sustainable success requires energy management. You cannot persist long term if you're constantly depleted. And this is where so many ambitious women get it wrong. They think that grit means pushing harder. But real grit sometimes means resting strategically, setting boundaries, saying no, protecting your focus. That is strength. So let's be clear. Grit does not mean blind stubbornness. Sometimes progress is slow because something is misaligned. So ask yourself, is this still meaningful to me? Am I growing? Am I learning? Am I aligned with my values? And if the answer is yes, then stay. If something feels fundamentally misaligned, then you can pivot with intention. But don't quit simply because it's slow. Slow does not equal wrong. Here's something I really want you to absorb. Most women overestimate what they can accomplish in a year, but they dramatically underestimate what they can accomplish in 5. 5 years of consistent action changes everything. 5 years of disciplined growth transforms your identity. And 5 years of staying builds something extraordinary. But only if you stay. If you commit to the long game, short-term discouragement loses its power. Because you know, I'm not building this for this week. I'm building this for my future. And that perspective is grounding. So I want you to pause and reflect. Where in your life are you being invited to develop grit right now? Where are you tempted to walk away because it feels slow? And if you stayed, who would you become? What confidence would you build? What strength would you discover? What example would you set? Sometimes the breakthrough isn't the result. It's the woman you become in the waiting. So if progress feels slow right now, you're not behind, you're not incapable, you're not failing. You are building, and building takes time. So stay aligned, stay steady, stay grounded in your values, and stay connected to your vision. Because one day, you will look back at this season and realize that this is where your resilience was formed. This is where your leadership deepened. And this is where you stopped chasing quick wins and started building lasting success. And that is powerful. So if this episode resonated with you, I would love for you to leave a review. Share with me what stood out. Where are you building grit? Where are you feeling that your progress is slow? And will you stay? And share it with a woman who could use this reminder today. And remember, keep choosing yourself, your vision, and your values. That is real power. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning into the Empower Elle podcast. I hope today's episode inspired you and gave you practical insights to help you navigate your journey as an ambitious, high-achieving woman. Remember, every step you take towards building your confidence and embracing your full potential is a step closer to creating the life you truly desire. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on your favorite platform. Your support helps us reach more women who are ready to step into their power and live their best lives. Don't forget to join our community on social media for more resources, tips, and inspiration. Until next time, lead with power and live with wellness. You are unstoppable.